O sacred head surrounded by crown of piercing thorn, O bleeding head so wounded, reviled and put to scorn, death's pallid hues come over thee, the glow of life decays. Yet angel hosts adore thee, and tremble as they gaze. I see thy strength and vigor, O leaden in the strife, and with death rulest rigor, bereaving me of life. O agony and dying, O love to sinners free, Jesus, all grace supplying, unturn thy face on me. Howdy. So, if you didn't check out Nudibranchs yet, stop the video. Look up leaf sheeps. Do it now! Seriously though, check that out. They're really, really cool little creatures. Speaking of creatures, I always try to save every little bug and take it outside. Why not? Other than mosquitoes, I mean, of course. Even wasps, though, you know? For real. You gotta have empathy for things that can't talk. Lack of this is why women put babies in blenders, and that's just straight up how it is, you know? And that has to do with just selfishness. And people say, oh, empathy, it's so stupid. You know, why would you care? Oh, you're wasting your energy. You can never appeal to a leftist. They always just cry and cry. And, you know, okay, you can say that as long as the quality of your work is excellent and not shoddy, and you're not constantly replacing everything that your ancestors made, even your parents and your grandparents, with crap, because you're lazy and you're stupid. And you don't care about the quality of your work because you don't care about other human beings. And by that same extent, you don't care if you destroy nature in varieties of ways, because who cares if the animals are living there? You could turn it into some sort of a thing that serves me. And what's it going to be? It's just going to be vape stores, you know, barcades, parking lots. It's that's a nightmare. I wouldn't want to live in a place that's just, you drive your car around, you work at one of the stores that people drive their cars around to, and that's it. That's the entire extent of your life. Don't even go to church. Don't visit other people's friends. Don't visit your friends. Don't go to a park. Don't go fishing. That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. I'm sorry. If you like that, you're probably like either like physically ill or sick in the head, you know. And if you're the former as opposed to the latter, well, I feel sorry for you. And paralyzed friend, part paralyzed from the waist down, and I would carry him on my shoulders, and we'd go around and we'd have fun, you know. And you know, I don't know, can't necessarily have your friends with MS sit on your shoulders, you know. I can't necessarily recommend that to everybody, but it's like, it doesn't have to be nightmare, 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 nightmare. And it really wouldn't be nightmare if it wasn't for Zionism. That's like 80% of the poison, as I've gone into before. We're going to talk about that a little bit this episode. So if you're crying about how anti-Semitic I am, first off, I'm not the one bombing Semitic people's children in the Middle East. That's the Israelis. They're the ones starting wars with all the Semitic languages, civil Semitic war. They're the anti-Semites, not me. If anything, I want to save the innocent human beings that are being caught up in this demonic, Satan-worshipping, Saturn-worshipping crap. I mean, Saturn, Kronos, those are like Titan archons, right? The Titans were before the Pantheon, there were the Titans, and Kronos is one of the Titans. But, that's very Hindu in the way that it's conceptualized, whereas the archetypes of Christianity are, you got deeper into the issue and found the focal point of a variety of different things, and then from those expanded the archdemons and the demons, and we found out like only a third of the archetypal preternatural, supernatural, forces are evil, and the other 2/3 are good. And that too reflects the population of the planet. I deeply, deeply feel that. I deeply, deeply feel that no matter where you go, most people are good. 60% of Israel is good. 70% of America is good. But that other percentage are dragging everybody to hell. They themselves refuse to turn from their extremely comfortable, pleasurable lives, and so they will drag people to hell with them. And they'll lie to you, and they'll beg you to come along with them and help them in their journey, which will damn your grandchildren. And your friends and their children and grandchildren too. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I should upload a video entirely in Kurdish. But then I get struck by the Pentagon. Oh, poor Kurds. Oh. They helped us fight ISIS, by the way. And on behalf of lovely Israel, we betrayed them. That's sick. In my opinion, that's sick. And what are Christians rewarded with? The bombing of all of our 1,000-plus-year-old holy sites. That's what we're rewarded with. If you're an evangelical, I don't understand how you sleep at night. There are some people like Mike Huckabee, our new ambassador to Israel, that genuinely do believe that once the third temple is built and the red heifers are slaughtered and the ginger cow, as South Park went into it, then the apocalypse will come. And there will be peace after a third of the Earth's grasslands are caught on fire. So they're willing to burn a third of the population in order to achieve their goals, which I've always had issues with Revelation. I've always had issues with that. I feel like John of Patmos was, I don't know, maybe his work was added on to afterwards, or he himself just had a lot of gunk in the mechanism, right? Because he was a very holy man, but I feel like he got into something. This is the speculation, this is the big speculation, that he got into something while he was on that island, and then drastically altered his perception in a way that, like, a Hindu would have their perception altered while they would augur their vast, vast pantheons of praetor and supernatural aspects. I'd say pagan-minded Italians and the Odinist role players are one and the same, right? They're both a manifestation of theosophical manipulation induced through the subconscious desire for cultural revival. And you know what? It would be kind of cute if it wasn't so sad when those alpha male types proclaim that they are scared of nature, or that nature doesn't care about you, and that it's inherently violent and cruel. That is their projection. That is a projection of either them or the boss that they get paid a lot for in order to propagate that. Now, going into that, Joe Rogan does this a lot. He'll bring up a video he saw of a lion eating gazelle and say, nature doesn't care about you, it doesn't give a fuck about us. Which is wrong, otherwise we wouldn't exist. He's also terrified of mushrooms. He genuinely thinks that mushrooms and fungi are going to destroy humanity and humankind. He said that before. He's not just wrong. 9 out of 10 times nature is cooperative. The more time you observe nature, the more time you spend looking at it, the more beautiful cooperation and patience and decency that you will see. Especially when you observe things on a microscopic level, you will see and then you apply that up the ladder, you will see a massive balance of things. Our moon, wonderfully balanced. Some of the worst people on the planet trying to ensure the destruction of the planet, the moon, everything. And we'll get into this later. We're talking about Zionism and the Sampson Option on this episode. How they just want to destroy things. And this devilish, ritualistic behavior is exactly what Christ came to prevent. Cats are just violent, though. Like, they're just violent little creatures. And I love cats, but they are violent little creatures. They are, particularly cruel in the way that they go about their natural processes of culling the herd. You know, wolves and bears, they tend to be a little bit more sensitive, just a touch more sensitive. When an animal they're eating alive starts to cry out, they will silence that cry because they don't like the sound in their ears. Whereas cats, they tend to be far more visual. That's why their eyes are so huge than having the ears of a dog or a bear. And so they get really caught up in the fast-moving nature of the things that they torment. Doesn't mean that they're bad, but cats, lions, tigers, stuff like that are particularly violent in the animal kingdom. So I'm basically British in a way, right? Welsh, Irish, and some bit of Anglo, but some French Austrian, right? And a little teeny tiny touch of Finnish. Just a touch of that. The old Italo-Anglo split is like the Sino-Soviet divide. There's no real reason why we should be fighting, but we are. And we will continue to. And there's a drastic difference of culture there. And it is what it is, you know? Sacred Artifact of America, Octomoms, 8-fold umbilical cord, boost Constitution by 5. I was thinking about that. You know, what happens with the umbilical cord with twins? What happens with the umbilical cord with quadruplets and octuplets? What the heck happens with that? I have to imagine kind of like a bunch of grapes coming off of one particular stem, right? Consider Guantanamo Bay like a 6-pillar lodge from Warhammer 40k. Everyone there is tainted. Good and bad. DeSantis is a creep, but he's also a good warning. Selling your soul to Israel does not a success story make for you or anybody else. Of course, they love scamming, extracting at a maximal. They love destroying things for whatever reason, starting wars, starting conflagrations, creating conflict, whether or not it's to cry for their American saviors or just out of spite. I'd rather my own state of Florida suffer this lesson than the entire rest of the nation at the same time. If you think Trump's bad, DeSantis is far worse on everything that Trump is bad about. So I considered, would it have been better to try and get DeSantis in there? No, it would not have. He's trying to legalize child labor right now. He's trying to legalize child labor in a way. It's you can already catch 16, 17-year-olds working at McDonald's and stuff like that. He's trying to loose the laws around child labors so that there are 14-year-olds working in meatpacking factories around saw blades and getting sleep deprived because the bosses are allowed to. At the same time, if you work outside, you can, and this has happened a lot, you can die because DeSantis has removed the requirement for breaks, water breaks, and the prevention of heat stroke. He is a monster. He's also dumping poison everywhere. Constantly, I see people reporting that there are poisons being dropped everywhere. You see big tankers of poison attached to these stupid Dodges sitting around waiting to poison stuff, sitting next to ditch witches, waiting to wipe stuff out, poison the ground, poison the water cycle, poison everybody else, poison people's children, increase the rate of defects in babies, increase the rate of mental problems in children, and increase the rate of death and the health problems and the cancers in everybody else, and including children and babies. He's a monster. He's a monster. What's the argument? What's the argument? COVID, that was a while ago. And guess what? He's still locked down his state. He was part of 14 states that eventually loosed the lockdowns against the Biden administration's recommendation. He is not special. He's not the best of those 14 states. And he's not a maverick. Okay? Sorry if that upsets you. The Sampson option, by the way, is the option where if if Israel feels like it's getting bullied too hard, it will start launching nukes out everywhere. All over all the countries that didn't attack them, that they've already attacked, all over the countries around them, just blanketing the earth in nuclear fire. It's called the Sampson option. It's a real thing. It's the pettiest, laziest, and ugliest people on the planet going, "Oh, we'll nuke everyone if you mess with us. We've stolen so much cesium." Ah! And guess what? You're already doing that. You're already destroying everything. You know? I hope you burn, State of Israel, administrative portion of Israel. I hope you are obliterated. I do hope you wake the sleeping beast and you get stomped. And I hope, America just backs off. I really do. Let Iran nuke them. Just joshing. Iran probably doesn't have nukes. I feel so bad for Lebanon and Greece and Yemen and Armenia. On the other hand, Turkey getting nuked is potential historical irony given what the Seljuks did to all the beautiful cultures of the Middle East after they got beaten up by the Mongols. Israel starts losing big time. They immediately launch rockets at every church and nuke the Vatican. And you know what? They already destroyed the Vatican from the inside out, hollowed it out. They've already been destroying churches left and right. Ask anybody. Both the communists, which started from Karl Marx, who was a Yiddish atheist, like a lot of the Israelis, Zionists that are atheistic in practice, but Jewish in name only, ginos. Vaginos. Vegan Jews in name only, vaginos. They've legitimately been destroying everything for centuries now. Centuries. A lot of the benefactors of the Soviet Revolution ended up being Jewish oligarchs in the long term. People who milled weapons and, used the state to distribute funds and food. And Putin, God bless Putin. Let's go ahead and cross this way for Putin. God bless Putin. Throwing those oligarchs out the window. You get them, champ. You get them. We love you, Putin. We're praying for you, Putin. Here's the thing, though. Zionists, Masons, and Wahhabists. That's the jihadist/crusader mentality from Saudi Arabia. Convert by the sword and no other way, no peace. No justice, no peace. That's Wahhabism. From Saudi Arabia, our ally, Israel's ally. They've already destroyed everything around Syria, Palestina, which is the gigantic region around Jordan, Israel, the West Bank, Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria. Antioch, and down to the River Jordan, and up all the way through the desert in kind of a triangle. Syria, Palestine, Arabia. Established by the Romans in 70 AD. And Jesus came to prevent this. He really did. He came to prevent that from happening. But what the Jews did at the time is they killed every man, woman, and child in a village that was under Roman protectorate. And just like the Mongols will come to do later, Hadrian went mad and obliterated, not decimated, decimating is taking 1/10, obliterated 97.8% of the Jews in ancient Israel. He left the Samaritans alone. But if you do your research, you'll find out the Samaritans are under constant attack by the state of Israel, despite the fact they are better Jews, they have better scrolls, better practices, they've lived in that land the entire time. The courts in Israel have them constantly hammered and hammered and hammered. And it's sick. It's sick. It's sick that anybody can just watch the TV, drool coming out of the corner of their mouth, and think that Israel isn't a terrorist, pedophile state that propagates cancer and nightmares. Literal cancer, figurative cancer, spiritual cancer, psychological cancer. They are the worst carcinogenic tumor that the world likely has ever seen. The power of reasonable, fun, and relevant and controlled anger will staunch the deluge of misery drowning us, though. Keep that in mind. And though echo chambers might amplify people's perception of their own approval and capabilities, it is ultimately decided by pragmatic action, not manipulation. Pragmatic action. Building into something, not winnowing away at everything. If you go out of your comfort zone to appeal and evangelize other people, so here's the thing. The right wing of our country, not the center right or the center, the right wing of our country, just as the left does, they are pining for right-wing supremacy in the political zeitgeist. But unless they go out of their comfort zones and appeal to people in the center, they're not going to pull that Overton window. They're not going to shift the dialogue or the conversation at all. If the extent of your political proselytization is proclaiming, if you are not with me, then you are against me, so be it. Most people, have no qualm with standing against those immoral people who, whether they have political power or otherwise, if they're acting immoral. If they're acting immorally, I have no qualms because I have a religious upbringing, because I have a religious backbone. I have no qualms with standing against you, no matter if you have political power in my country, my state, my area. I have no qualms with standing against that. I think the moment I started hating Hollywood came first from a movie where some pricks are driving through Central America or some place like that, and they see some bodies hanging from an underpass, or hanging under an overpass, excuse me. And one of the guys goes, "Oh, it's genius what they do. Those people are probably innocent of any crime, but they kill them just to send a message. Oh, it's so genius what they do." Hollywood can piss off, piss up a rope. Alright, y'all. It's good. Y'all have a good start of your week. Take care.